Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and I'm here with kind of a weird makeup look because I'm going to be applying a look later in the video. But we are going to update my Expand Those Pans project. Expand Those Pans is a project started by Dora, who is Fuchsia Soul here on YouTube. And basically, once you hit pan in an eyeshadow, a lot of times you just put it away and don't use it. So in this project, I roll in 3 randomly picked shades that have pan in them, use them 10 times, look at the progress, cheer myself on, and then pick another 3. So from last time, I will have up on the screen, I had the 3 shades. Two of the shades were from my Sickly Sweet palette from Blend Bunny. And so it was this orange shade Ruffles and then this purpley shade Big Feelings. So the Big Feelings pan has gotten, I feel like, pretty big. Okay, that's kind of funny. But mostly because it already had a big pan. It was the first pan I hit. It was pretty soon after getting the palette. And it's also, I feel like, kind of getting squished over a bit because it's like I put my finger in and tap it on. This shade is really nice because it goes on really smooth. It almost feels like it feels really emollient, but it doesn't crease that I've noticed on my eyelids, but it's also still sparkly, you know, and you know, it's shiny, which I would expect from a shade like that, but it also is still a little bit sparkly. And then the Ruffle shade has been really fun. I was pairing it sometimes on my lower lash line as a little pop of sparkle, because that shade is super sparkly and it's more flaky, so that one, it's not really getting pushed over as much. And I don't need a lot of it, you know, to get the look. And sometimes I was just kind of tapping on to get more of a scattered sparkle kind of look. And then I had another sparkly shade, which is from my Juicy Boost palette, but because that's a really chunky palette and I was trying not to, I already have a lot of palettes that I'm working on in my makeup bag, the shades are magnetic, so I was able to remove it. And so I have a picture and all too, but this was the gold shade, and it was another one where I might use it on a lower lash line for a bit of sparkle. I might use it as like a little kind of swoop shade. It's getting pretty windy out there. Okay. I might just kind of tap it all over. I actually, on my last look because that shade and the purple shade needed one more look each. So on my lid, I did the purple shade and then the gold kind of patted on top. And that was actually really pretty. I wasn't sure how they would go together like that, but I figured for one last use, you know, just give it a go. And actually, I really liked it. What was weird though was after I wore it for a bit, they kind of combined into like this more silvery look. So I don't know, maybe the shades are a bit more emollient and all. They weren't creasing, but something was happening. But yeah, it was so pretty, so, you know, it's fine. And yeah, so we're gonna roll in 3 new shades. And I have my little thing here. I don't have that many pans anymore. I removed my Weekend Festival palette, and that was a bunch of pans. Dollhouse, oh, I do have. Dollhouse does have a pan. I mean, it has a few pans. I forgot about that, which is good because I'm working on this palette anyway. So number 5, I just happen to have it here, is the shade Tool. So I will give a better picture and all of that, but okay. Let's see. The most, oh, I also have that one handy, number 3. This is funny, okay. So number 3 is right here. All right. I said I'm going to be retiring this palette soon, so all right, let's get another 10 uses on that shade. And I'm trying to finish the shade next to it, so, you know, that's fine. All right, what else? The Greatest Gift. I don't have that one right. Oh, wait, no, I do. How are they all here? Wow, okay. So, yep, that is this shade right here, which is perfect because this is another old shade, just like my Marvelous Moms one is. So I am happy. This could even get paired with that one because I just remembered I'm going to make a look with these. Oh, this is such an easy pinky look. I was expecting to have something more complicated. All right, well, let me show zoomed in pictures, or maybe I already did that. I don't know, we'll see what I decide. Swatches, and then I'm gonna make a look. All right, so we are back to make the look. I'm going to allow myself to use some other shades as well, just because. So for example, that second shade in the palette I'm trying to use up. So I'm gonna start with that one, which like I said is right next to the other one. So this one is a little bit lighter. I'll use it here. And then we'll go in with the slightly darker one. So I have all these sparkles in my hand. What is, just from picking up the eyeshadow pans, that's kind of funny. All right, so that is not the shade that I am using, but we're gonna go into that one now. All right, let's see what this one brings. Yeah, these are getting really powdery. I mean, they were always well, no, I feel like they were more firmly pressed. I wonder if it's just getting old, or I mean, it is. If it's the process of getting older, if that's what's making it dustier, or if it is, you know, like once you get below a certain layer of the shadow, if more of the top is kind of tightly pressed and the rest of it is looser. All right, so yeah, this should be kind of easy to use these two like this for looks. You know, I mean, they're meant to go together, and like, it's just very simple. Okay, and then I've got the greatest gift, can go all over my lid. I think I used it wet before. Let's see what happens like that. Oh, well, hold on. I need a little bit more on my brush. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I like that. But yeah, like I said, these shades go together well. I don't usually repeat the same, like I'll sometimes get similar looks, I feel like, with different eyeshadows, but it's not because I am doing the exact same eyeshadows and, you know, same everything. It's more just that, you know, let me wet my brush more. It's more that, you know, all the mauves are gonna look pretty similar, or start to look pretty similar on the eye. Oh yeah, wetting the shade is definitely best to get the most out of it, the most impact. That makes me feel good though about having the shade, because it sort of felt not so special, but I guess it's more, it can be very metallic. We'll see once it dries, you know, if that's part of it. All right, now for the inner corner is where I can throw in the Tulle shade. I didn't do swatches. I had to film that part still. I'm so excited to try them out. All right, let's see this one. It's kind of weird having the pan on the side like that. It's kind of hard to get in. Like normally if I have a pan, I don't necessarily, especially when it's on the corner or edge, I don't always try to like continue just with the pan. I might just go in the other section, but it feels like, you know, if I'm supposed to be expanding the pan, that I should try. Maybe I could work around it like a little bit and then, you know, kind of work my way back into the pan. Yeah, let's try that. Otherwise, sorry, I'm so used to like looking this way because I've got a mirror here, and I forget that I should be looking at you, and then I can use this small mirror that I'm holding as I mean, I use both, but yeah. Okay. Oops, got some down there. Let me kind of go back in with the mattes a little bit, do a little zhuzhing. I wanted to come on and show, because, okay, so this is how the greatest gift is on my lid right now. This is when I put this other shade I have on top. And so I'm going to do it on this eye as well, just because the greatest gift, yeah, it didn't have that something I needed as it dried down. So I don't know. Do I need to retire that shade too? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say it served as a good base. So there we go. You know, I'll get my uses in, and over the course of 10 uses, I should be able to figure out, you know, if I'm liking, because maybe that's what it will be for me. It will be just a nice base. Do I need a little bit more? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I just can't help it. I love having, like, it just needed to be a little bit brighter or something. I like that the shade is shifty. Okay. So the other random things I did, I added a little bit of a coppery shade, although I feel like I've kind of covered it up now. Let me see. A little, it's in here. I kept the inner corner with the tulle shade from the dollhouse. On the lower lash line, I did that copper, and I did like a white gold type of color here. I added a little bit of a darker here. I just went a little contrast. Oh, and I added black liner, like a shadow liner. And yeah, and I just kind of finished off my face. So this is the finished look with the Expand Those Pans. If you want to know how I'm going to do for these shades and see what they look like, maybe you'll subscribe to my channel so you'll get to see when the update is ready. It's usually about a month, but there's not like a set day that I do it on. Thank you for watching this. Until my next video, I hope that you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!